Check 1, 2. By the way, I see clicker. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so guys, just background. Thank you for showing up here. First of all, before I will run through my background, important to understand. So I am a co-founder of Estonia 50 Unicorn Pipe Drive. So I have been living startup life last like forever. I have been happy doing quite many hackathons, and just a few minutes before I go to stage, I met one founder who said, thank you so much, because this Garage 48 hackathon happened in Latvia, I don't know, 10 years ago. It was really helpful that I'm now basically startup founder. But full disclosure about my relation with Ukraine. I have been basically visiting Ukraine from 2010, doing hackathons. I am invested 8 Ukrainian startups, so I'm super in about Ukraine. I am married with Ukrainian citizen, so I'm literally married with Ukraine. And as you guys know, 24th of February in Estonia is our Independence Day. And we did know some signs. Our team member was flying to Ukraine day before, arrived to Ukraine literally with the last plane. But as any of you, it was a huge, literally the biggest shock of my life when I'm opening basically my mobile phone. I don't know why, 5 a.m., whatever, but I had a really bad feeling, and I see the news. So the first thing indeed was shock. First day I was going to the forest, we have free day, celebrate. Second day, I basically found out you can donate to Ukraine. I did my angel investment donating 20,000 to Ukraine army. I was tweeting it, and somehow people was picked it up, even called me, and so on. But yes, and basically one huge thing as well is that we opened in Kiev 2019 Lift 99, which is a local startup center place. And we had a team which had basically agreements that if all starts, you meet 7 a.m. next to Lift 99 building, you take a bus to the west. That's exactly what happened. Basically, my team left from Kiev to Lviv. It took I think that usually you drive 7 hours, it took 24 hours. And they switched to the one thing, how to help Ukraine to basically first defend the Kiev, but later also basically help whatever way. And this story, what I will telling now, started a little bit later, but in March already. So, in around in the 15th of March, they contacted, said, we have a friend who just now is in Kharkiv. And he was driving in the combat and his car stopped because of technical failure. And he needs a new car. So a few days later, I was just opening basically our car portal, and I did know one thing, that if you will go to combat, you should buy Toyota Hilux. That's the only thing we did. I know. I found the car. I literally said, hey, I need a car. Is it available? Blah, blah, blah. And I did know already Lithuania doing something. I didn't know Twitter convoys yet, which is amazing thing. It's unbelievable, amazing thing. So, but then I was calling. I made a photo. I was putting it out. And as I'm a startup guy, I had, hey, I'm buying a car. It's at 20, basically, I think I posted it Sunday. Next Friday, we are driving convoy. So I put immediately goal out, clear. We go Friday, 6 a.m. And I want to have more cars in the convoy. Deadline, super harsh deadline. And then somehow media picked it up, Then it was TV calling and other thing. And voila, 27th of March, I'm in Lviv. And instead of one car, I ended up having 14 cars. And it was the most crazy convoy because, we had in one bus, they was calling, we need also diesel. So we had one bus, which was explosion, not an explosion, but we was adding 1,000 liters inside of the microvan. So basically, the guy was if I drive 120, how many meters takes I can stop the car? We did so many crazy things that most of the people was in the convoy startup people, because they was okay, it's Friday, we can drive, we can go, And sorry, I'm not a car guy. I can't tell, oh my God, I don't like cars. I have a car. But that I'm not passionate about. I'm passionate about people, nature, and so on. So in the last 14 months, I have learned quite much about cars and also, again, about NGOs. So this is the story starts. Today, full disclosure, we have helped now 80 different units. And literally, what we are focusing is helping the most elite units like Kraken. I hope many of you have heard. We have now campaigned to Azov. And we are basically taking approach that we're giving the cars which I or my team members would okay to drive in the combat zone. Because we give literally cars which is in the front, like, evacuating people, but also getting through the Russian line, doing some bad stuff and going back. So this is just a random thing. As of today, we have delivered 166 trucks because we have been focused, and I think that they're going to do amazing thing. Our focus is tiny bit different because we are giving cars which is basically 4x4 pickups. We do so much mechanical check and so on. And one thing, we have productized that. Because what many people don't realize is that if you're running those things, you still run organization. You need to think about the team. You need to think about processes, the marketing, fundraising, and so on. And that's exactly what we have done, and I'm just sharing a few things which I have learned on that thing. First of all, one more time, we have an advantage because we have a team in Kiev. And in the beginning of the war, they turned fully into the, hey, we are now basically helping Ukraine. Now, Lift Hub, by the way, have been working from the last June. It has changed. Can you imagine, in September, October, it was full because it offered 4 unique services. Bomb shelter, Starlink, which gives you an internet connection, electricity, because we had generator, and shower. Because that's the thing, and believe me, there are so many amazing founders who stays in Ukraine, working and building companies. So, and that's the huge inspiration for us. But the point why we have been effective is that we have team in the Kiev. Because being very frank, Ukraine is still, I would call, a rainbow country, meaning their corruption is real in some cases, and I need to be super sure what you do, who you give the stuff, and so on. Okay. So we started in March, and then we discovered amazing thing in the June, NAFO. Who knows NAFO? Many people. Who are NAFO fellas here? Come on. Okay. So NAFO was just born in Twitter to basically push back Russian propaganda. But I'm just full disclosure dog lover. And we discovered that. Amazing. Let's productize that. Because it's basically NAFO is Nordic Atlantic fellow organization which connects people which all are driven by values. They mainly are basically pushing back propaganda, but also they are helping to fundraise and donating actively. So it was like, okay, fine, we are joining NAFO now, and this is my NAFO Vella image. Basically, every NAFO Vella has a dog image. What can be better? I have 2 dogs, one is real and the other is fake. So what can be better? And this is our team, because one more time, it all starts from the team. If you're doing a startup and you're picking up founders, you should know them at least 5-6 years. When we started basically a sniffing brigade, I had a privilege to know people who is not the startup world, but who actually know cars. Like one guy I know 20 plus years, he's living on the garage, literally. Just, even I called him like Saturday evening, I'm fixing now this car for the next convoy. There is one guy who is a hunter. If you hunt, what you use pickups. So there is basically one guy which is designer, but he can actually paint cars as well. So he's behind of all of these designs. There is Anton from Kiev Lift team, which we know we can trust and who can speak Ukrainian. And then we found from our Lift 99 community in Tallinn one guy who actually can do marketing, who discovered many tools and who has helped us to build the product as I see today, 69 Sniffing Brigade. So today, basically, as we have been pushing some public fundraising, so this is just kind of give you a sense. We have now 3,000 people from 50 countries which have donated us at least once. And this is one community, but we have some masses, but this is what we keep basically talking and thinking what we should do to motivate them. Because all the frankness, it's already 14 months or even 15. I'm losing count. War is not the main news. Because we can have a nice thing here. How many people looked at in Oman yesterday? Was rocket, which basically went into the, you are leading all the time, Chris News, which basically went into the building and 15 people dead. I don't know, 30, 40 wounded. So war has come usual news. So that's why we need to basically do so much better marketing and so on to get people motivated to look the news and donate and so on. Because actually mental health is something which we don't even imagine what happens in Ukraine after the war. And also ourselves, so many people who is volunteering are burning down because your brain is not meant all the time looking awful videos. So what we have done is that we have started to give communities some awards and stuff. So here is the example. So we have done, I think, that now 15 different chevrons. Chevron is like this. You can add it to basically military using this kind of patches of chevrons. This will give what unit you are. So we first started to make our own chevron, and you can add it anywhere which has this scratch. We know, like you can connect it. And we have made like, okay, if you donate us at least 100 euros, we send you this by post. And oh my God, they're like, oh, it's amazing. I'm part of the movement now. The other thing is indeed that if we meet those people, we meet them personally in Kiev, those soldiers are unbelievably thankful. I have never in my life felt so huge level of gratitude like in the last, basically, whatever days it are, 14 months. Here, the guy on the red is a Bolt co-founder, Martin. He was part of our last bigger convoy, end of the March, and he received this shell from the 41st Brigade. And you know why these cars are important still, as a context, is that this brigade is a brand new. They received so much good things from US and so on, like, you know, not challengers, like whatever, some armor cars and other things, but they're still lacking the cars, because car can last 1 week, 2 weeks, it can last 10 months as well. You never know. So say its car is just exactly the thing which is breaking down, getting shelled, and so on. And the other thing which we have found unbelievable, basically motivating, is that if we do convoy, we actually drive inside of the Kiev to meet them face by face. And for many people, we have had many people who is donating and joining and driving this. It's, by the way, 35 hours from Tallinn to Kiev. I have done now, I lost the count, but most likely 8 convoys personally. But these moments when you're meeting these people is something which is invaluable thing, memory for the life. Again, it's stupid, but this is productizing the thing. Because if you donate, you want to get back, and you want to see person who received this. Other thing lately, because now we have reached a quite high level, we have done things that you never can buy or have in your life. We was the first small group in Chernobyl after 24 February last year. Because you cannot go there at this moment, and maybe not even next year. It's military base. But Ukraine Ministry of Interior, whatever, give us permission so we can go. And you know, we had even the striving with some Soviet bus inside Chernobyl and so on. We have been seeing Maria in the Hostomel because we have helped this unit many times. And this Armor M113 on the top photo is which we have been driving. Because one more time, we need to motivate and give more and more, basically, the things for people who keep supporting us, or is team members, and so on. And here is the one guy, NAFO from Belgium. He's 74 years old. 74 years old. He has joined 2 convoys. He has bought twice car so we can fix this, build it, and he has been driving into the Ukraine twice. So we have indeed, we had so many, like we had Bolt co-founder joining us, we had many founders joining. I was talking yesterday with Printify founder, I hope he joins soon. But he has been twice, and you know, the guy is just, again, it's a war, but he has a flower festival in Belgium. He named first car Belgium chocolate truck, second one was flower blower. Because as bad it is, one more time, mental health, we just cannot all the time show dead people, wounded people. Like, that's why we are basically building those cars, adding unique commo. The effect is everybody's system in Ukraine. So getting a bit of, we saw your car in Kiev, why it's in Kiev? We are like, let me see the car, okay. I am sending the photo of the car to our guy who is a designer. He's like, this is this car, you need that, okay. Oh, okay, say back in Kiev. It's important, by the way, to track your stuff. And the thing what as I'm a startup guy, is that to call the attention. Because many people who have been donating keep donating more and more. So there is one guy who has been donating 21 times. And there are people who has been donating actually even bigger amounts, what you saw here, but I wanted to show that, like, these things, because one of the first things is fundraising money. And after this long time of war, everybody's tired, especially now we are here in Baltics, because we have given everything already. The key question is how Germany, how Sweden, and all of those nice countries would actually start to donate more and more. Full disclosure, the most active country for us is US, and second is Germany. Why? I believe there are people who heavily support Ukraine, but government has been slow, and they feel guilty. So, and again, one more time, we have to build marketing here, which is unusual. It's an NGO. What the hell? So basically, when in the last April, there was a news about me. I was like, okay, interesting. So we should think about it. And now, basically, we have built YouTube channel because the one thing what we have learned is content. We have to be content creators to showing all of the aspects around it. And this is pretty new. It's like 3-4 months, our channel. And we have already almost 6,000 followers. And every time they are just talking and so on. Twitter, I didn't use Twitter before war almost at all. And now I'm like, okay, damn, now I should use it. It's just the problem is that, as you know, Twitter keeps crashing all the time. And there is some guy who is owner, which I cannot relate anymore. I was reading Elon Musk's biography. I was a fan of him. But lately, it's so controversial. We have also now newsletter. And what we do is that, if we deliver, we do this kind of images and we do partnerships. Because at the end of the day, if you are building something, you need to find a way how to deliver your message. And for us, the best partnership has been Artur Rehi, which is basically in YouTube. He has 600,000 followers. And he did recently a campaign with us to buy night vision. He collected 88,000 a week ago. Not like year ago when everybody was giving unlimited amount. He did this exactly, but he literally did video, which was, I think, 15 minutes long, when he basically explained from the zero why night vision is needed and used it and literally made the video. So if you are not YouTube, basically, guy, to making that video, I think the budget of like 10K most likely. But he made it and boom, there is the result. The other guy is War Translated, which has done us now is the third campaign with the Azov, with this exact Azov who was in Azovstal. But before that, we have collected with him 150,000 to buy the cars. He's the guy who is Estonian citizen living in London, translating videos from Russian and lately Ukrainian to English. Because he's originally Russian speaking, but he learned Ukrainian. And one thing what you don't realize that exactly this world, what we do actually, is a private fundraisings. Like, full disclosure, there are so many great, amazing people in startup community, like Grandom from Sweden. We have with the Grandom people in Stockholm, private fundraiser, when we talked. This photo here is from Germany, because we had Kandalf, who basically is Azov deputy commander. He did press conference basically last year, April, in Mariupol. And he traveled us to basically to Germany. And one of the German founders who made exit already donated after that 100,000. So this is like, kind of like, and full disclosure again, every person in this team is doing this part-time. I am full-time, basically building my own startup. It's unbelievably mindfuck to indeed find this balance. Sometimes I'm hurting too much my startup. I almost like actually, no, not almost. I give all of my angel investing to the Hillary, who is helping to do that. So I was trying to find this time whatever way. And yeah, so this is our website. So we have a YouTube and so on. And if anyone want to join our convoy in 17 May or in July, I am here. Contact me. Because the fact is that we need to be ready for the next 12 months, 14 months. As I have met those people, you know, I believe it's shorter. And believe me, if you read the news here, it feels unbelievably depressive. If you go to Kiev, it's other reality because Kiev lives normal life. New restaurants are opening, by the way. People having as much normal life because mentally you need to have a normal life, not only about this horror about happening. And every time I go Kiev, my stress goes down because it's kind of like I see the light. I see the why this thing is one moment stops, and I meet those basically the heroes. So there are many Ukraine founders who are in front line. Literally, like they see the things not from the screen, but every day. One of them is basically deputy commander in unit, and he's responsible for the morale. And that's like we had. He was giving interview when we had the Estonian Startup Awards. It's just unbelievable how human adapting to that. Because none of us, no human is meant to be in the war. But yeah, for us, it's still TV show. For us, we can go and make a trip and lifetime thing. For Ukrainians, it's not a choice. But the fact is, I don't need to tell that, because Baltic states in together has been supporting worldwide level. And the best competition we have now is between Estonia and Latvia, who gives more. Like, it's almost daily. Estonia has given like so much of the distance, and Latvia, can we beat that? Can we beat that? No, any other, Lithuania is close by, but Estonia and Latvia is really, depending on the time, who is leading. And one more time, when I'm talking with my team members, many of them believe this might be the most important thing we have ever done. Because our generations hoped we never see war, but also we can't just be here doing nothing. In that sense, I would say that the emotions which we have received stays with us forever, and these people who have received them is also like, the one guy learned Estonian and recorded video of how thankful he is for that car. The other guy recorded video in English the same way, learned English by the one reason only, to just record the video and say, hey. And you know, this is the most touching things most likely I have seen at least like last 10, 15 years. So, one more time, here is our contact. You can grab me here. Happy to give more if anyone want to join. Drive to Kiev, be part of that. I'm here. Thank you.